9 minutes past 7 a.m. My name is Masika. Welcome to April 2024. What a good way to start our morning right here. Well, today we're going to be discussing an interesting topic, looking at how the freelancing boom here in Uganda, or we could say the gig economy, on how people are juggling 2 to 3 jobs once in a while. Income, extra money, due to the different factors that are aligned within our country, Uganda, looking at the cost of living, looking at the standards of living. Really, there is actually need for, that is why most Ugandans have actually improvised, to look for extra money. What they say, the gigs lately, we find someone is probably an engineer in the night, they're playing in live band. That's a gig. So definitely that is why everything is revolved like that. Well, of course, looking at the recent in these recent years, the shift in the job market has changed, giving birth to the gig economy, or what we call freelancing. Of course, looking at preferential skills, other skills apart from your professional jobs, looking at other skills, and that is where your gigs come in. Okay, that is where you get. Now, the gigs give us opportunity to earn out of our skills, our extra skills, not the professional skills. Like I had said, you could be a professional journalist, but at the end of the day, you're going to sing. That's something, that is a skill, that's a talent, and people are earning out of their skills, out of their talents, and they call them gigs. Well, this phenomenon refers to a labor market characterized by short-term or freelance work arrangements, where individuals offer their skills and services on a temporary basis to various employees or clients. That is what we call this whole freelancing thing. So you dedicate a few hours to your gig, whereas you have a professional gig, just to earn. Now, of course, this economy actually gained momentum due to the technological advancement, increasing connectivity and changing attitude towards work, offering both opportunities and challenges for workers and traditional employment models. Well, you've had people work. They are working at their workplace, but then working elsewhere. Due to the advancement in technology, people can actually work online and have their work delivered and get paid there and then. So definitely that is why all this is really happening in our country, mostly Uganda. Well, of course, the most appealing aspects in this gig economy is its flexibility, where these freelancers have the liberty to create their own schedules, enabling them to achieve a better work-life balance. So, well, most of them are not permanently good. Some of them would be or could not be permanently employed. They just have to work from one place to another on their own time, on their own schedule. No need for pressure. If they want to work today, this place, they'll work. So it's upon them. It's not like they're self-employed, but then it's up to them. If they wake up in the morning and they feel like they want to work, then it's the way to go. So that is the life we're getting into lately, because the different professions, the white-collar jobs that we are running for, may not give us entirely what we need. So people have resorted, for going for gigs. Someone, they give you, and there is an offer, and you run for it. You just give a small excuse from work and just go and get some extra cash. Because the cost of living is quite high here in Kampala. Trust me. If you want to keep up, we have to do extra work, definitely. And of course, looking at the gig economy, which is autonomous, and looking at entrepreneurship itself, making their own decisions about the type of work they want to take on. So definitely that is it when you talk about freelancing and how we can all, and of course it has shaped the whole aspect of traditional employment, yeah, where you knew you had professions and that was it. Now people are working using their skills. If I'm really computer literate, if there is an offer, if I can do MCing, if I can do DJing, it's just has exposed us to very many aspects that we did not know about ourselves, and people are really earning out of their skills and talent. So slowly by slowly, the traditional kind of employment is fading away now. Yeah, so I can get contracted, I get myself a job, work for a week or two, and have the money. Yeah, so definitely there is a lot we shall be talking about in regards to the freelance boom, or the what we call the gig economy here in our country. You're gonna looking at a few statistics on how many people have really taken initiative to see that they grow in that space away from the traditional employment that we're used to. Well, right about now, 15 minutes to past 7 a.m. This is where we get to see what is happening into the press. Well, of course, with me, I have the Daily Monitor and the New Vision. I'm going to be taking you through what is happening in our country, Uganda, and of course, looking at new jobs in pipeline as construction begins. Well, quite interesting right here. And of course, the arrival of line pipes for the first 100 kilometers of the East African crude oil pipeline, EACOP. At the port, yes, so here at Port Mombasa. So if you know you're qualified, if you're qualified in any of these spaces, please, this could be your time. But so they are going, the construction of the proposed EACOP is taking shape in Uganda and Tanzania, and with an estimated 10,000 jobs expected to be created over the next 24 months. So those are 2 years. Get yourself a contract for 2 years and get some money. Tap onto that, really. There is no shame in it. Well, and looking at how police wait results for the, okay, there were rumors circulating of a male organ that was found in in someone's food. I don't know whether if it was human. And of course, so they're going to really look into the matter. And of course, experts investigate death of Brigadier Chigundu in the bathroom. Yes, quite absurd right there. Well, of course, a lot more when you get yourself a copy of this paper. Well, of course, here in the New Vision, fuel alcohol affected in the new proposal as new taxes introduced on land and property. Yeah, eventually I knew this would actually do happen. Well, of course, over 100,000 people at risk or as crack develops across Namasindwa. Namasindwa, these are landslides. These are definitely landslides. The earth decided to go against humanity. Yeah, and of course, very many people, I'm seeing here, threatening over 600 households. 600. That's a lot of households, yeah? And of course, looking at how China is to provide 16 billion for Naguru expansion. And of course, looking at the oil and gas sector, where government clarifies on oil refinery. Yeah, so definitely that and more. You grab yourself a copy of the New Vision. Well, of course, 5 suspected highway robbers arrested. Yes, we're still fighting crime in our country, Uganda. Definitely looking at Lango and Acholi sub-regions leading in cervical cancer cases. So get yourself checked up. If you're young, if you're a female, if you're a lady, get yourself checked up for cervical cancer, because it is actually dangerous. So there is need of medical checkup every now and again. When our President Museveni meets Renzori bishops, yeah, that was yesterday during the fast of April. That was the Easter Monday. Yeah, they're going to be, Renzori is going to be organizing Martyrs Day. That is going to be on 3rd June. Yeah, and of course, government asked to fund epidemics surveillance center. Of course, this is according to the civil society organizations have asked government to fund the Public Health Emergency Operation Center ahead of the withdrawal of the donor funding, which happened in September last year. But of course, why Mumbere reshuffled cabinet, and that is of course the King Renzururu, the king of the Makonzo, yes, the Makonzo, and of course, wow, Mr. Rakakamba, yes, chairmanship contract expired, so will he be given another Chisanja or not? Well, it's upon the State House to actually see if they're going to award him the next contract. Yes, because he has done quite well, I should say. Well, of course, government proposes 5% on tax on land sales. Uganda, looking at 18% VAT on auctioned properties, and then % excess duty on bottled water and other water purposely for drinking. These are other new tax measures, yeah, on auction properties, 18%, then on bottled water, 10%, then 2,500 excess duty on each kilogram of powder for making beer, that is in like wheat. Then as well as 5% levy on income from land and property transactions, looking at 1,100 shillings additional levy on each of a liter of fuel, wow, and 300 shillings additional levy on each liter of kerosene. So anytime from now, you're going to be seeing an increase in prices on the various commodities that I've shown you, talking about alcohol, wheat, yeah, it may likely increase, and water probably increase, or maybe find means of increase. Now, a commodity exempted from the VAT, that those are fertilizers, hose, electric vehicles, charging equipment. Then we have seeds, seedlings, cooking stoves that use fuel. So these are going to be exempted. Well, looking at agriculture, which is the backbone of our country, Uganda, government earns 9.5 trillion from agricultural exports. Yeah, those looking at our different producers, yeah, and of course through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries, a government earned $2,453 million, approximately to 9.5 trillion in the financial year of 2022-2023, up from $2.1 million, approximately to 8. So there has been an increase, actually, from 2021 to 2022-2023. So yeah, we are actually improving in line with exporting our agricultural produce. So how much more do you think we shall export if we add value, and how much more do you think we shall get out of it? And of course, looking at talent, improvement in talent, government artists have been in talks over growth of the industry. Yeah, as you can see, well, Davido was here in Uganda just recently on Friday. He had a talk with the university, yeah, the University of East African, International University of East Africa, right there. Well, of course, Attorney General warns universities over accredited courses. Yes, these were courses that caused havoc last year and still on them again. So have these courses accredited so that students can be able to feel confident while taking them on. Well, of course, experts advocate on-site childcare facilities for corporate companies. Yeah. Just in case students want to visit a certain workplace, maybe factories, because they usually go for those different tours and trips, and they go for those different factories, the libraries, Coca-Cola. So there has to be provision for these protective gear. Yeah, and of course, NADS ordered to pay over 554 billion shillings to tea seedling suppliers. Well, a few months ago, if not February or January, there were complaints about tea. Tea growers, we are really not happy because this is one of the cash crops that earns Uganda some revenue. But somehow, somewhere, the government is not whatsoever, mining. They are mining about coffee, they're mining about other cash crops, unlike tea. Well, China looks to provide 19 billion for Naguru hospital expansion. Yeah, so definitely that's some funding that we need and that we call for as our country, Uganda. Well, of course, a nation at crossroads. We should all be activists. This is in the commentary section. That is what he proposes, that we should all be activists in many ways. Advocate for good things. Good policies. Yeah. Dead for hearing. This is police await results for suspected male organ in food. Yeah, like I told you. It was everywhere on social media and how why would someone do that? Or maybe it seemed like one, but it wasn't one. Well, that is also one way to find out. Well, of course, China-Uganda trade doubles. Looking at in last year, China's foreign direct investment in Uganda reached $55.7 million, ranking number 17th among all African countries. That is the partnership that Uganda has with China, looking at direct investment, the direct investment that they have in Uganda. Well, of course, Uganda's economic growth is accelerating. That is according to the IMF appraisal. Well, in the International Monetary Fund staff appraisal has affirmed that Uganda's economic growth is accelerating, supported by the rapid decline in inflation and the construction of a new pipeline, which is supporting investment and demand for services. Like I'd said, if you go right now, if you go to Hoima, the Albertine region, it's quite expensive actually to get a decent meal. It's quite expensive. So people are heading there. That is where the economic activity that it's trending. That is where it is trending recently. The ECOP, the pipeline that kicked off just recently, and of course expected to employ over 10,000 people. So if you know that you're skilled one way or the other, if you've been looking out for jobs, if you're an engineer, if you're any kind, I believe every form of employment is going to be needed. If you're well versed with computer skills, computer studies, trust me, you're going to be able to get out of it. Well, 28 minutes past 7 a.m. I think that brings us to the end of what is happening into the press. But in case you're interested in some of the stories, you can grab yourself a copy of these papers just at 2,000 Ugandan shillings. You can be able to grab yourself one. Well, of course, shortly I'm going to be back. Let's go for a short breather, and much more awaits. Stay tuned.